Here's another exclusive clip from Wrestling Reality with Justin LaBar, brought to you by Gladiators of the Cage.
How many times do you have to get struck by lightning until you stop going outside during a storm? How many detours do you need to have on a road before you go, I probably should just go somewhere different? All of these analogies are applicable to the Rusev, Lana, Dolph Ziggler Summer Rae saga. Now, I will be the first to say I was completely in favor of when we started to realize that Lana was going to split from Rusev. I love the Lana Rusev presentation. I harped over and over and over. I've told many people inside of I had an important meeting with WWE inside of the last year, and I expressed my joy for the Rusev Lana, my appreciation for the Rusev Lana presentation. Okay? Thought it was a great presentation. Thought the way Rusev was booked for the first year, great. But I was fine with him going to split because the fans were organically chanting, "We want Lana." Lana seemed to have a certain charisma that we were slowly seeing come out. If you follow anything online, you could tell that she would be good to represent them in Hollywood, in the mainstream, and to walk the red carpet. She has a look. I was completely fine with the separation of Lana and Rusev, figuring that this would be a great story of a split. Rusev can go on; it can still be a monster heel, and Lana can turn herself into being one of the baby faces of the company. Rusev gets hurt. Okay, detour number one. Rusev gets hurt, bad timing, hurts his ankle, kind of limits him. He can still appear on TV, but he can't, limited physical ability for, especially at least jumping into a match, because they decide, okay, well, Lana's got to have a new flavor of the week, right? She's got to have a new man. Let's give her the guy that everybody could believe, and Dolph Ziggler. Okay, I was fine with her and Dolph. I said, hey, that's a pretty good pairing. That kind of fits with Dolph's character and her character. But of course, the Rusev Dolph stuff was kind of awkward. Again, Rusev couldn't have a match for a little bit. And then also the Dolph-Lana chemistry just wasn't there. They tried to force the chemistry by just doing some crazy tongue action, but I didn't feel it. I didn't believe it. Okay, I just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't feel and believe it. So then we throw in Summer Rae. Rusev's got a new flavor. It's Summer Rae. I'm okay with this. Summer Rae ain't got nothing else to do. They turned her into making her look exactly like Lana. By the way she's portrayed on Total Divas, rightly or wrongly, she comes off as a bitch and or slut. So it just kind of seemed, I was like, okay, we're back on track. But then Dolph's got to go film a WWE movie. Detour again. So now Lana's standing around being picked on. Rusev and Summer Rae are in lovey-dovey. Dolph comes back.
Just in time for SummerSlam, too.
Dolph comes back.
You think it's okay there.
We think it's okay there. And we start to get a little momentum. Lana's kicking Summer. The crowd's popping for the cat fight. Joey Styles, cat fight is in everybody's head. I think we're finally going to salvage all of this. And then Lana gets hurt. So now it's like, okay, well, everybody's gotten hurt. We've tried repeatedly to build momentum. It's not happening. The wrestling gods are just saying we don't want it.
JBL.
Yes, JBL is saying he doesn't want it. Okay? And on top of that, things get a little stranger. So Brian Alvarez, who works with Dave Meltzer with Figure 4 Wrestling. They break a lot of stuff. They get a lot of insight, got a lot of connections, a lot of rumors. They're not right about everything, but nobody is. You can't be right about it. That's what fans will never understand. Until you work in the business of commentating and or reporting on news or happenings in pro wrestling, you will never understand. As soon as one person gets something wrong, oh, you're a hack. Oh, where's your credibility? Oh, nice sources. It's pro wrestling. You're never going to be right 100% because everything, nothing is official until it happens on TV. I've gotten things right and I've gotten things wrong. That's just how it is.
How could you get something wrong?
I've gotten
Impossible.
Things, yeah, because things change. It's gotten wrong. I pride myself on things I've gotten right, but things go wrong too. Nonetheless, so Brian Alvarez, so my point is saying all that is to buffer. I'm not trying to take any shots at Brian Alvarez. I'm just putting out there. But Brian Alvarez is reporting, and I'm sure that he believes what he's reporting, just a matter not whether the information he's getting is true, is accurate. Brian Alvarez is reporting that Lana injury, her wrist injury that she sold on Facebook and on social media that she got while training for her first match, that she has something, that she's fractured her wrist, and she's basically going to be out for like up to 4 months. But Brian Alvarez is saying that she hasn't even been going to the Performance Center to be training. Basically, he's insinuating that the injuries will work, and that the whole injury of training for first matches will work.
Everything's a work.
But then that kind of, I don't quite believe that, or it doesn't. Or let's put it this way, it doesn't make sense if that's the case, because they didn't really even, like, it's not like they did like some big expose last night on her injury. They did the big expose, the TMZ, dun dun dun, of Summer and Dolph's dressing room and all this stuff. But all they did with Lana is just mention she wasn't there. Dolph said he's been checking on her, and he had a message for Rusev. Like, they didn't really exploit her injury. They didn't really give a full. They didn't hammer it home why she wasn't there last night, which made me believe, well, that makes the injury seem kind of legit. Like, damn, this injury happened, and now we got to reshuffle everything again. So they didn't want to harp on it too much just yet because they didn't know how to handle it. Bottom line is, this thing is as dirty as the NFL Patriots story that's all over the place today. Just stop. And again, I wanted to see this work. I still think Lana has potential, if we can get this done right, at some point in the future, to be a major babyface player for them. I keep referring to her. She could be this era Stacy Keibler. But for Christ's sakes, at this point, keep her off TV for a few more months. Let Rusev kill Dolph real quick. Let Rusev pick his momentum back up and just worry about him moving forward. I don't care if he has Summer Rae or not. Actually, yeah, keep Summer Rae. Let Rusev and Summer move forward. Let Dolph lose the feud. Dolph can move on and do whatever. He's got a brand new contract, whatever. Leave Lana off TV until Royal Rumble time. Have Lana come back and join Rusev, and they give the big boot and ditch to Summer. And for Road to WrestleMania, Rusev and Lana are back together. When Lana says, "Oh, you chanted you want me, but you can't have me. Rusev is the only man." Well, let's just go back to it's the same principle as we break the Wyatt family up, only to put them back together because we realize it wasn't a good choice. It's the same damn principle. Only this had even more detours and more public just screwiness in this entire saga.
There's like no way Rusev could be a face, right?
No, I wouldn't say no way. Look,
no, I mean, not
right now.
At this juncture, like you said, for Road to WrestleMania, you got to have. If let's say Lana comes back, she has to be.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Juice. When she comes back, there's going to be this case of where they are all going to want to. They're going to want to pick back up. The crowd's going to want to pick back up to where they were last year at WrestleMania, where they boo him, cheer her. So they have to do one of two things. If she was to rejoin Rusev, let's say in January, they have to do one of two things. And quite frankly, she could rejoin him sooner. If it's just a wrist injury and we're going to take her having to fight off the table, she can come back sooner.
Yeah, she only started fighting now.
She could wear gloves if they want to cover up any pain. She could wear like the gloves that go up to your elbows. I don't know. But if she's not going to be fighting, then it doesn't matter.
Or she could have a cast that's looks like the Russian flag.
That too. I like that. Well, that's the question. See, if she's back with him, do they go back to Russia or are they still from Bulgaria? Because when she split, he went back to Bulgaria. Don't answer that. It doesn't matter. But yeah, they have one of two choices. If she gets back together with Rusev, one of two choices. One is to either she immediately has to cut the cheers off, and she has to completely say, you chanted you want me, but you don't deserve it, and truly try to make them dislike her again. Or if you wanted, there is a way. I mean, anybody can be a face, and I always say this. One of the most remarkable. I love the original Kane character. I love the backstory and how just damning and just the history and burned as a child and they insinuated that Undertaker's parents were killed by. I loved it all. And obviously, if you can take a character like that and evolve him all the way around to where he's doing comedy and he's a babyface, any character can be involved anyway. So Rusev could certainly eventually be evolved to where he's sympathizing with America and then standing side by side with John Cena. Anything can happen. It shouldn't happen anytime soon because that would be bad news right now. They haven't even tapped into.
It's a slow burn. They got a lot of time before they want to do something like that.
But at this point, I'm willing just to concede. We need to stop the separate. We can put the Lana solo project on hold. Let's just get her back to Rusev.
And you don't want to. You can't relegate Summer Rae back to the Divas division whenever the Divas division is a 6-man division where there's just all 3 woman teams.
Yeah.
So she's out there lost with whoever.
Yeah.
Well, then she could go with Lana and insert third person here. Blue Pants maybe.
Blue Pants.
And then you got another 3 woman team.
There you go. Team Bulgaria.